Hey, I'd like to welcome you all to another one of our paid co-founder trainings that we do every Monday and Thursday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today happens to be February 12th, Thursday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'd like to welcome all of you to our training today. A lot of you know it's a special day for me, and so I figure one of you, maybe we can have Hunter lead the way here. I know everybody wants to kind of say something. So, how about you coordinate that, Hunter, as our host today?
Alrighty. Right, so just a few brief words before we begin. I definitely must say that I've definitely enjoyed our friendship together, Hayes, from the very beginning. And yeah, the first time we talked, honestly, was just like I was talking with an old friend with you and Lisa on the call. So yeah, that's definitely one of the reasons I'm still around for you as far as and of course for the community. And with that, yeah, Hall, that's about everything I had to say for my part.
All right, so it happens to be my birthday today, and do you know how to lead the music, Hunter, for the? I know everybody's anxious to sing "Happy Birthday" to me, so someone needs to lead.
Oh, like, all right, let's
You
get to
want to
that
ask
right
if
now.
he want the old version or the new version?
I'm
All
open to
right,
whatever.
all right, everyone, three, two, one, begin.
Happy
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 birthday
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 Day
to
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 you.
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 Cha-cha.
Happy
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 birthday to
birthday
birthday
to
you.
to
Happy
you.
you. Cha-cha.
birthday,
Dear
happy
Happy
Ace.
happy
Happy
birthday
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 to
to
you.
to
you.
you.
Happy
Lord
birthday
have mercy.
To
to
We
you.
ain't got no
Wow.
orchestra here.
That's
My
awesome.
goodness.
All right. Yeah.
Happy birthday to you, Ace, though.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. I mean, I appreciate all the happy birthdays
Wow.
on the wall of joy. Let's visit that real quick. So let's see here. Yeah, I put a few pictures up. I got my friend here, Sam, who I've known for like 40 years. Been around. He lives here in Las Vegas, and that's his son right there. That's my friend Sam and his son. And that's me blowing out a candle, I guess, earlier. And yeah, it was fun. Thank you. What's that? Yeah, 60 going on 39. I like that. Thank you. All right, so there you go. It is a special day for me and also Abraham Lincoln. So we share the birthday. As well, I've heard some other people also in there the same day. So it's a popular day for a birthday. All right. Well, there you go. I officially hit the big 6-0 today. Wow. It's just so funny that the older we get, we keep wondering why is it that I feel like a teenager on the inside, even though the outside doesn't quite look like a teenager anymore. So
Right.
I think we all kind of go through that, don't we? Like we get these bodies and they age on us, but on the inside we still have that youthful, adventurous spirit of we're just excited to be here and have another. It's a blessing. Every day that comes is a blessing, isn't it? So
Yeah.
we're excited
I'd
Yeah.
about
like to be
what each day
60
brings.
again.
What's that?
Your own? I'd like to be 60 again.
Well, there you go. I had some people at the restaurant tell me the same thing. They're like, enjoy. I remember when I was 60, they told me. Like, well, it means the path forward is a path forward because my father, he waited till he was 96 before he checked out of here. So then, let's see. I'll consider that a record worth breaking, right? So see if I can hang around even longer. You would think that that's possible, right? So,
Hey, Ace, you're only as old as you think you are.
well, then I must be like 17 years old then. So watch out, here I come.
Well, Ace, we in the same ball game because I think I'm about 13 to 15 again.
Yeah,
But my
that's,
body don't feel like that though.
yeah, exactly. So I come up to a staircase and I get little reminders there, oh, wait a minute. It's a little different. So yeah, yeah, I've got some great goals, obviously, just to let you guys know that I do have this goal to lose a lot of weight this year. So don't be surprised if you see me shrinking a little bit. It's on purpose. So and a lot of you have offered to help pitch in that regard. So I just would like to be a little lighter. It's just to match my energy on the inside. I'd like to be lighter on the outside. But yeah, I'm a tall guy, so I carry it well. So but that's a big goal of mine for this year because I like to get into my 61st birthday. Probably not the same size I was in high school. That was too thin. But yeah, I'm thinking maybe when I first got married, that was the right size. When I got married the first time. That's something to work towards. I believe it's achievable. Enough about me. It's about you. This meeting is for you. So thanks for all of you being here. And I'm excited about today and what I'd like to share with you today and let you know that our PML Star program has been moving forward. And let me just, I hope they're here. Cheryl, I see you here. Hello, Cheryl. This is our most recent star. She hasn't got a poster made yet, but you'll have one soon. She might not be able to unmute. I think she was on her way somewhere. But Cheryl's be our next star. And then after that, there's also Lucy. Is Lucy here? There she is. So there's our second one today. So we have got 6 of the 20 done. Okay. And they're making a positive impact on our PML chart here. So currently sitting at roughly 152,000, roughly. Okay. So Lucy and Cheryl basically came in all at the same time. So that pump you see from here to there, that was the two of them coming in a double whammy and pumping it up. And take heed, take notice that we're leaving the sellers behind. Okay. In fact, that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to be talking about how the sellers are running out of ammunition. Okay. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So here's our chart. Look, what do you guys think of that chart? Looking pretty good? Looking like it's going in the right direction?
Yep, definitely going in the right
Yes, it
direction.
is.
Yeah. So let's see here. This down here is the 8th right here. So that's the 8th of February. And now we're on the 12th. So the last 4 days, you can see the direction is clearly going from maybe sideways to now it's moving up, from sideways to up now. And that's what we want. So we pretty much established what I would consider the bottom here. And unfortunately, we did have some sellers that took the wind out of this climb that we did over here. We had a nice climb over here, but we had some sellers of, bam, bam, that kind of took it out. But again, those sellers, what they're really doing is they really don't understand what they have, because if they did, they wouldn't sell so early. Let me move this out of the way. I consider what the sellers, anybody selling right now, this is kind of what they're doing to themselves. They're selling for pennies on the dollar, something that's way more valuable, and they're selling it prematurely. So the first person they hurt is themselves, but also impacting the community. And you know, it'll be their loss because they could have had much more. All right. So you might have noticed something new on our website here. And let me go to the account page. And we did send a pretty clear message to our sellers with this $500 contest, right? So that's still something you can click at and take a look at, right? You go look at what happened here. Okay. And I appreciate everybody that participated in that. That was a lot of fun. If you go explore and you click on holding, and then you click on PML holders, click on that. What you'll see here is you got the administrative contracts and liquidity contracts over here. So they don't really count. Those are not people, right? So that's what's kind of running our system here. And so technically on the PML, the holder that we got one here, right? And then we've got another one here. So this one's got 13% of a coin. This one's got 9% of a coin. Okay. We do top 25. But out of the top 25, we don't have sellers. There's no sellers here in the top 25. Okay. We go to the top 50. Okay. No sellers in the top 50. Top 75, no sellers. Top 100. Okay, we've identified one seller right here. Okay. And by the way, we are now including people that do transfers. We consider them a seller. So both the party sending out of their wallet and the party receiving to their wallet, unless we get clarification from the person receiving, they never asked for that money. You know what I'm saying? So we're contacting everybody that we see that happen. Okay. But you get this little S. You get a little S here. If you're doing something that could potentially bring the price of our coin down, okay. But this is our top seller with a 2.3% of a coin sitting there. So I want you to notice the color is green. Okay. We have a little key down here. Green equals contacted and agreed to follow our price signal. Okay. So our price signal is here. Okay. This page here is our price signal. Okay. They've agreed to follow it. Okay. So that means they're really not a seller anymore if they're recommitted to following price signals. So even though they're banned, they can't come back and use our website to accumulate coins easily. They still got coin and it benefits them. I don't know, that 2 point something, I don't know, that might be $2,500 that value, right? So they have up to $2,500 based on the current price that they could sell. But hey, we're pushing the price up to 2 million. So from where we're sitting, that's at least 10 times. So that means if they follow the price signals, then that $2,300 to $2,500 that they have there could actually end up becoming $25,000 when we get to $2 million price. And then if they only sell when the signal says that they can, then the price is going to float between 1.5 million to $2 million. And it's going to go up, up and down in that range, 1.5 million to 2 million. And over time, they could take that 2,500 that becomes 25,000 and take that 25,000 and sell it a little bit at a time over time. and end up getting perhaps even more than $25,000 out by gently selling over time. See, it really benefits the seller, even a person has been banned. It really benefits them just to take it easy, right? And work with us and work within our signals and then they get more value of the coins that they're holding in their wallet. I think that point's pretty clear, isn't it?
Yep.
Yes.
It's clear to someone that explains it to them. And we go to the next page here. So basically from 101 to 125, we also have additional sellers here, but notice everybody on this page is also green. So we've knocked out the big ones, guys. Here, this is a 1.2%. So maybe they've got, I don't know, they might have, I don't know, maybe $1,500 of coin sitting here. You know what I'm saying? That could be worth 15,000 if they gently sell following price signals. And then we got the next page here. And then obviously some people we haven't been able to reach yet, so they're white still, so they remain white. So if we go to the key down here, it says white, yet to be contacted. So we haven't successfully got a hold of them yet. Okay. But we're pretty much able to figure out who's who. Okay. And so you see we got some green ones there, and we got a red one right here. There's only one red one at this point. And this is someone that basically told us that they refuse to follow price signals. So what are they sitting on? They got 009. So that's not even 1%. So I don't know. Maybe that's $1,000, maybe $1,100 right now, right? But since they refuse, well, that's the worst that they could do, right? Not too much. They don't have that much power. And so on. There's only one on this page. So from 151 to 175, there's only one yet to be contacted. And then from 176 to 200, there's only two there. Okay. And we're reaching out to all of them. From 201 to 225, there's none. There's no sellers in that group. We just got a nice solid block of yeses here. Okay. And this is 126 to 250. Okay. We've got a seller there to reach out to, and we got someone that agreed to follow this, and they've got 0.002. So at that point, they might be sitting on, at the current price, maybe $350, right? Okay, so they don't have a lot of power with $350, right? And they realize that they're better off if they just, work with us, on price signals. And then go to the next page, none there. So on 251 to 275. Next page, okay, none there. That's 276 to 300. Notice the numbers are keep dropping here. Okay. And then we go to the next page. Okay, here's somebody. 301 to 325. They've got about 1%. I mean, not about 1%, but they got 001. Maybe they're sitting on $150 of coin right now at the current price. Okay, with 001. That's just not that much ammunition. Okay, I hope I'm making my point really clear here by going through it like this. Okay. So again, none here on 226 to 350. And then, okay, go here. We got 1, 2, 3, okay, that are on this page. So that's 351 to 375 out of 943, right? So this one's got 0008. They might barely have $100 there, barely, okay? And then the next page, again, none on that one. So that's 76 to 400. Okay. You want to know where all the sellers are, guys? Would you like to know where they're all at? Because if I go here page by page, you can see there just ain't that many as I go from the top down. But if I go to the back side here, I'm going to go to the end. So this is 926 to 943. Okay. Okay, this one right here, 0 point, all zeros. All zeros. They don't have ammo. They're gone. They're dead. All zeros, all zeros, all zeros. So when they empty out their ammo, they end up on the back of the holders here with all zeros. Okay. All right, and then here, all zeros, all zeros, all zeros, all see, that's where all the sellers are. And there's just not that many of them, even still, you know. Again, all of these. Okay, finally we got something. So right here, this one, zero, I don't know how many zeros that is, but it's like 8 of them or 9 of them, and then 470. It's probably less than a penny for sure. Probably everything on this page right here, all of these sellers, they might have less than 1 cent right now. They don't really have ammo, right? And the next one, okay. Again, all these zeros, again, probably less than 1 cent, less than 1 cent, all of them. Okay. So these guys already used their ammo. Now I'll break it down like that. You guys realize we don't have a seller problem. That's not the problem here. Okay. When you break it down, when you look at the fundamentals, we don't have a seller problem. You know what the real problem is? The real problem is that there's a perception that we have a selling problem. That's the real problem. There's a perception that we have a selling problem. That's the real problem. It's not the fact that we have a selling problem. We have a perception that we have a selling problem. And that's driving behavior to behave a certain way. And so last time we talked about perception is reality. Okay, those of you that were here on Monday, you remember me talking about that?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm coming back to that point that people behave based on perception, don't they?
Exactly.
They don't necessarily behave on the facts. Their behavior is based on their belief of what the facts are telling them. But they might have it all wrong, and they do. Anybody believing that we have a seller problem right now, they don't have the facts. And the fact is, we will contact every single one of them that has anything to sell, like $100 worth or more. Okay, we'll contact them all and say, why are you hurting yourself? Why are you selling so cheap on something that's valuable? You've already got yourself banned. You're never going to be able to collect $3,000 a month from us like you could have had you just kept working with us, but you broke away from that. Don't get mad at us about that. We're just trying to protect the whole community because we're trying to do something where we all get to win, right? Because this ain't a winner take all approach to it. You know, our approach is we all win, right? That's our approach. And so you broke away from that. So you're not going to get that. That's gone, but you still got coin. So since you still have coin, it makes sense to you to not sell early. Just work with us and maximize what you got left over. And just work with us because you're going to be allowed to sell during price stability, no problem. During price stability, you can sell when you want, anytime you want, as much as you want, whatever inside of price stability. And we're trying to create that in less than 2 months. We're trying to create price stability. We want to get to our target within a week or 2 or 3, okay? But after that, we form price stability where selling is allowed for everyone. No problem, no penalty. No, right? That's where we want to arrive. And that's what we want, right, guys?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So hopefully today we can make it very clear that the sellers are really running out of ammo. And anybody determined to keep on selling right now in the next day or two or week or two, anybody determined to sell in that period of time, they're just hurting themselves mostly. The community, we're going to get over it. Okay. Right. But they are stuck with having sold cheap, something that was quickly on the rise and that they could have gotten so much more. So that's on them, isn't it? Their own decision and the impact of it on them, right? And we can be neutral, like whether they do or don't, we don't care. They want to sell early, okay. They want to wait and hold and work with us and only sell during price stability, okay. Right? We're okay either way because their ammunition is very small, meaning that we're going to succeed at what we're doing no matter what. Okay. All right. Now, there's a new poster out. A lot of you, there's two sides of this. There's the sellers, and then there's creating momentum. Okay, see, this year has been all about talking about momentum, creating momentum, because momentum is really the number one ingredient to success. Would you guys agree with that statement? Momentum is
Yes.
the number one ingredient to success.
Yeah.
True statement?
Yes.
All right, that's what we're working on now. So on the other side, the sellers over here, the rest of you are participating in creating momentum. Okay. The good guys are participating in creating momentum. The bad guys, they're selling prematurely. All right. So share my screen again. And if we, let's see, I got stuff all over the place. Click here, just get into the media. We got it here. Okay, there we go. Now, if the price of PML is $100,000 and our target is 2 million, okay, and you're getting a $2,000 PML by being one of our stars, right? So you're turning 1,000 into 2,000 instantly, okay? So that's your bonus, right? So you got $2,000 times 20, okay, that equals $40,000. It makes sense for someone to say yes to that, right? Yes, I want my 2,000 to become worth 40,000. That makes sense, right, guys?
For sure.
And
Yes.
if the price of PML jumps to 110,000, okay, fine. It's not a multiple of 20, but it's still a multiple of 18. And that means your 2,000 would be worth, 36,000, right? When it hits 2 million. And at 120, it's 16. And at 130, it's 15. And at 140, it's 14. That's pretty much where we're at right now. We're kind of in this range, 14, 13, 14, okay, with the 140, 150. That's currently where we're situated. So 28,000, 26 to $28,000, turning 2,000 into 28 to 26,000 in a matter of like less than a month. That's a great deal. And even a person that waits till the price gets all the way up to 200,000, that's still a multiple of 10 to get to the 2 million, right? You're still got a great deal at 2,000 becoming worth 20,000. Am I right? So I hope this chart makes more sense now that I've spelled it out. Okay. So go back to the other chart here. So we're currently at 152,000. We were at a little bit above 160,000 on that pump with Cheryl and Lucy. Okay. But we'll get back to the 160, but we're basically in the 140 to 150 range right at the moment. That's still excellent multiples, far greater than 10%. Anything better than 10 times, I mean, not 10%, 10 times, which would be 1,000%, right? So 10 times is a 1,000%. So that's a very good deal in that range. And what does that tell you here when you're looking at this? Okay. So we got our 4 stars here. We got Joe, Kay, Teresa, and Mary. We're adding Cheryl and Lucy here on these 2 spots here. See, these brave souls weren't necessarily so brave. They were just really smart. They got in when the deal was when the deal was really good. Okay. You see, anytime you're an early adopter, you get the best deals. Early adopters always get the best deals. Okay. So any hesitation, if you have $1,000 and you're hesitating, I would question your logic at this point. Like, what logic are you using here? Or maybe it's your emotional state. I've always told you guys there's 2 timelines, okay, the love timeline and the fear timeline, and these are real in the multiverse, okay? I know it might sound like science fiction to you, but which part of the multiverse do you want to be in? Do you want to be in the world where all the people that are bound by fear? You want to be in that world, or you want to be on the earth where it's all about love? Which one do you want to be in? Pick your timeline. The earth is splitting. It's called mitosis. In biology, when a single cell becomes two cells, we call that mitosis. Okay? Same thing's happening here on a cosmic level, whether you're aware of it or not, because everything is built on consciousness. And then once you understand that, it makes sense. You know, time, space, thought, kind of the same thing, really. One is just different ideas inside of consciousness. But when you understand what reality is really built on, and that you are love. Okay, I've always asked you guys, what are you? Right? The simplest answer is you are love. But if you're bound by fear, it's like love in a cage, right? Caged up love. Okay. So if you live your life in fear, you're the one that's imprisoned yourself. You have the key to the lock in front of you. Just open up the lock and get out. Okay. You got to go in to win. Okay. As within, so without. We're in a hall of mirrors. Okay. You are in charge of you. That's it. Make your choice. So if you want the best for the best, the sooner you come in and be one of our stars, the better. By the time we get to that 20th star, we're at the 2 million, and then we continue to press forward with momentum. Then everything opens up after that. All the stuff that we're waiting for just opens right up as it should. Okay. All right, Hunter, let's go ahead and open up the chat for the people who are waiting to get paid. Okay, so those of you that came as qualified for paid training, okay, go ahead and put your correct wallet address in to get paid for today's training. Unleash the hounds. All right. All right, we appreciate you guys. Okay, so the sellers really have run out of ammo. They're pretty much done. I mean, there's so few of them that have anything substantial. And those that have substantial over others, we've already reached out to them and they've already agreed to to follow price signals. So they're not a threat to our goals here of getting to $2 million on our price. And if they're lying to us, well, the moment that they do a transfer or a sell or anything like that, their thing will change from green to red. Okay. But it logically doesn't make sense for them to lie to us. Logically, it makes sense for them to comply because they benefit the most by complying. You know, we're just trying to help them help themselves to get the most out of what they already have, maximize the value there and what they can do with it. Okay. We're not trying to, put all kinds of restrictions and limitations and things like that on people. What we're trying to do is create something together. And it's like when it's half baked, then you don't take it out of the oven, do we? Right? We let it stay in the oven to fully bake, right? So we're kind of half baked at the moment, and we just got to let it finish. Give it a couple more weeks to finish. Then we can take it out and enjoy it, together. That's the whole point. We can feast together. Okay? Everybody be happy that way. So really what we're looking at is a dynamic that I like to put it like this. Okay? For some, they believe it to see it. There's very few that are like that, by the way. Believe it to see it for some. For everyone else, they got to see it to believe it. Okay, that's everybody else. That's the majority. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. As we get to that point of reaching $2 million and we go into price stability, then we're going to transition from believing as seeing to seeing as believing. And then massive growth will follow that because that's where the majority lie. Does that make sense, guys?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. They're gonna follow because they'll be able to see like you can get in, put money in, it doubles your money, and then you can sell it and you take paper money from it. Yep. Oh, seeing is believing. Okay. Growth, right? But the rest of us, the brave souls, are the ones that are going to get the biggest rewards because they get the biggest rewards because they believe it to see it. That's why they're entitled to the biggest rewards, right? So it's a question of who do you see yourself as? One entitled to the biggest rewards, or part of the sheep that, they get what they get. A blade of grass here, a blade of grass there. Okay? Who are you? Right? That's self-determined. Each one of you have to self-determine who are you. Okay? All right. So let's see here. Let's talk about price stability now. What kind of multiples are available during price stability? So before I answer that, let's set the contrast up. What are the multiples before we get to price stability? So we'll take a look at that again. We looked at it a moment ago, but we're going to look at it again. Okay. Before price stability, it's this melting ice cube you see right here. You see the 20 becomes 18, and the 18 becomes 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 11, 10, 10. Okay. That melting ice cube of multiples, you see that there, guys? Depending on if you jump in at 100,000, 110, 120, 150,000, 180,000, 190, 200,000. Okay. And then after it gets to 300,000, it's less than 10, a multiple of 10. 400,000, it'd be less than a multiple of 10, right? And so on until we reach the point of hitting the 2 million and opening everything up to go into price stability. Okay. All right. So these multiples are exciting. Wouldn't you guys agree that these multiples are exciting?
Absolutely.
Okay. Very exciting multiples. But when it comes to people that are taking advantage of what's available during price stability, okay, we're talking about a price that's going to fluctuate between 1.5 million to 2 million. Okay. So let's say 4 units, 500,000 unit for each. Okay. That's 25 cents, 25%, right? So if you take 500,000, there's 4 of them inside of 2 million. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. So you're looking at a multiple of less than 1. You're looking at a multiple of 0.25. So that's 25% of 1. So it's not even a whole 1, right? It's not 100%. It is 25%, which is 75% less than 1, which is 100%. So your multiple between 1.5 million to 2 million is only 25% of 1. Okay. Now, that means that anybody accumulating in that period between the 1.5 million to 2 million, okay, anybody accumulating there, they don't have these huge multiples that they're going to have tens of thousands of dollars coming out of just a few hundred or a few $1,000s. No, they're going to take thousands of dollars and add hundreds to it. That's the difference. Okay. So instead of turning $2,000 into $40,000, like you can an early adopter, no, instead you can turn, $1,000 into $1,100, or maybe turn it into $1,200, right? 1,000 to see. So that means that the late adopters, if you want to call it that, okay, just to distinguish it from the early adopters, so those that come later, the late adopters are not going to have the power of multiples in their favor anymore, ever again, because that's the point of price stability, right? You can't have price stability with massive multiples. So just be happy you get to be one of the few to have massive multiples on PML. One of the few. And maybe it's 20 of you that get that deal. There'll be the 20 of you that are going to be the ones pushing it up to the $2 million price. So those of you that are also on the other strategy of like buying $5 a day or whatever, you're also enjoying those multiples, right? So those of you that were buying $5 a day when the price was at 100,000, you still had that 20x. So that $5 times 20, you're basically turning every $5 bill into a $100 bill when you did that. Okay, right? Congratulations, good on you. Just on a smaller scale, right? And what you did helped a lot, by the way. We appreciate it. So, keep on doing that. Let's get more of us to do that. Right now, I don't know. I think we got maybe 15 or 20 of you that are kind of doing that right now. Would you guys agree with that analysis? Doing a little one, two, three, $5 a day.
Sounds about
Yeah.
right. Yep.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yep.
we got a friend over there in Singapore who's like doing $20 a day. So, um, but yeah. So there you go. So that's actually, you're really benefiting from that. You're enjoying the multiples, just on smaller amounts of money, and your dollar cost averaging in. That's great. So enjoy the ride between now and the next few weeks when we get to that 2 million mark, and then we can then open up, to that price stability factor. But at price stability, those multiples are pretty much gone. I mean, 25% is nothing to write home about. It's just enough to be happy because the whole point is something that's stable that you can move from, putting it in digital money to double it back out to paper money where you can spend it. Okay? You like how I said that? Okay. Right. We're moving something into digital money where we can double it back out to paper money where we can spend it. Okay. That's when you should write down, guys. Write that down. Okay. PML. What is PML? It's a place where you can put it in digital money where you can double it so that then you can then take it out and spend it. Move it back to paper money and spend it. Okay. That's a good explanation of what PML is all about. Would you guys agree with that? Simple
Yes.
Yes.
explanation,
Mhm.
right? Simple,
Yeah.
straightforward. Okay. And it depends on how much you got to work with. If you got $6,000 of PML, then you can actually double, $100 every day. If you got less than 6,000, then I mean, it's doubled instantly. If you got less than $3,000, then you can double $50 every day. But the great thing about $6,000 is that you don't have to wait anymore. You get paid instantly. Yeah, I want you to get ready to unmute. Everybody get ready to unmute and say me when you fall in this category. If you are doubling money instantly every day, unmute and say me.
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 May, may, may.
You hear all those me's, okay? They're doubling money instantly because they have over $6,000 or they're doubling money instantly, okay, in the PML, which is really cool, really awesome, Beautiful machine, beautiful poverty crushing machine. I'm so excited about helping people in the Philippines because those guys deserve to be paid better than $200 a month, okay? But most of them work really, really hard for only $200 a month. They work so hard for only $200 a month in the Philippines. My heart goes out to them. And we have a poverty crushing machine that they could just easily, make $3,000 a month, once we have price stability. Okay. So let's go here. Let's go to lend. Okay. And to take a look here, guys, 1/15/2026. Today is February 12th. Okay. Now I asked the programmer yesterday, and he didn't finish it, to change this to 1/18. Okay. But he just didn't have enough time, I guess, yesterday to get it done. He goes to church on Thursdays. But probably by today, this should be 1/18. But the idea is we're keeping this around 3 weeks. So if we have a lack of borrowers, then the guarantee will come in and swoop in and just pay it. Okay. We'll come in and take anything that's just been sitting there open for about 3 weeks. We'll go ahead and close it. They don't have to wait a whole 4 weeks or a month. We'll just close it out with a guarantee. What do you guys think about that?
Sounds fantastic.
That's a
Yeah.
good deal.
Wow.
That's a good deal for
Excellent.
those that have less than $6,000. If you got less than $6,000, you should be very, very, very happy that we're doubling your money monthly, maybe sooner. Like my eyebrows. All right. Maybe sooner. That's what we want. Okay. We want to double your money monthly or sooner. And that's what we're doing. And we're putting all the pieces together. This is an unfinished puzzle, right? But when it's finished, it's going to be beautiful. Okay. Beautiful. Where it's just going to go out there and crush poverty and make in its wake leave behind prosperity and abundance where there was once poverty. Imagine a world where just the light is sweeping across the world. This PML, wonderful thing, sweeping across the world, and basically overcoming the poverty that it comes in contact with, and leaving behind prosperity and abundance behind it. Okay? Imagine that light sweeping the world. Okay? Can you see it with me? You see it? Right? And so good. And I don't know, for some of you that are in the US or you're in Europe, you're UK or you're in Australia, I mean, $3,000 is not necessarily gonna, end poverty in those kind of countries. It's not enough. You couldn't really be doing well in those countries if all you had was 3,000. But coupled with the fact that these are really developed countries and having a job or whatever is a little easier to come by, and if you could just add to that job an additional $3,000, right? What does that mean? For some people, that covers their entire house payment. Okay. Other people, it might actually be $3,000 more going into their retirement fund when they're ready to retire. Or other people, it might be $3,000, that, gives them, some relaxation and some leisure that they probably deserve, like some vacation time and some time to get, maybe do a little travel. Okay. But 3,000 is a significant amount of money. Would you guys agree? No matter what country you're in, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Okay. I'm excited about this poverty crushing machine just rolling through the earth, and millions of people being drawn into it. And I'm excited about that, guys. I'm really excited about that because I know as the strength of that goes forward, it adds to what we're doing in pool funding, which we have no limits over there. It's not limited to 3,000. Okay. In pool funding, it's unlimited. Okay. But this is the starter of that pool funding engine. As I mentioned to you before, if the starter works really good, then the engine will be fine. It's going to be fine. Okay. So we need to create momentum. I don't want to wait till June or July or August to have momentum. Do you? That's too long. I don't want to wait that long. I'd like to see momentum kind of start kicking in March, and see it really kind of revving up in April and be like, burning hot in May. Lots of momentum. That's what I'd like to see. It's not up to me, it's up to you. Okay. I can guide you, I can teach you, I can explain to you, I can clarify, I can influence, but you are the ones that control what you believe, how you feel, and what you do. You're in charge of you. So if you're caught in that fear prison, just remember your love and let yourself out. Okay? If you're caught in the fear prison, just remember that you're loved and let yourself out. Because love is expanding. Fear is contracting. Love expands, fear contracts. You are love. You are. Embrace it. Okay? Not only embrace it, but in your own colorful way, express it. Love has 1,000 ways to shine. Okay? 1,000 ways to, say, I'm here. And each of you get to choose your color that you choose to express yourself and, light up the world with your power and your light. And that's how the world changes, by the way, right? Exponentially. Okay? That's how the world changes. I'm ready for a world to change for the better. How about you? Are you guys ready for a world to change for the better? You ready for that?
Yes.
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 Do you think it's up to the politicians to make it happen?
No,
Or
No.
the government?
no,
How about our school teachers? Is it up to our school teachers to make it happen?
no.
Is it up to religion to make it happen? Ooh, now we could get into some debate now. But we won't go there. But no, if you're thinking that, you got it wrong. It's not up to any of that. It's up to you. Because you are in charge of your hall of mirrors. Just like I'm in charge of my hall of mirrors, you are in charge of your hall of mirrors. You might think they're the same, but they're not. And what defines us is how we hold ourselves in our own sovereignty. And if you don't believe in self-sovereignty, then you're missing the point altogether here. You want true freedom? Be sovereign. Be sovereign. Okay? Take it in. That's your power. Maybe you forgot. You need someone to remind you? I'm here. I'm here to remind you. That's why I came, to remind a whole bunch of you. You're here. You got a job to do. Let me encourage you to do a good job. Okay? I'm here to offer encouragement. Okay? We can do this. What we're doing is good. It's powerful. It's numbers. It's math, right? I mean, the whole consciousness thing is built on math, if you think about it. The whole greater mind, if you will. The thing that's in charge of everything, the real thing that's in charge, not the imposter parasites that come in and pretend like they're in charge, the demiurge, imposter. No, it's, everything can be broken down into some sort of a math. And what's great about money is built on math. Isn't money built on math? And money is what we use to pay the bills, right? So, yeah, it all ties together. And I get excited about math. You can see how I'm passionate about it, right? Especially when you put a dollar sign in front of it. I mean, it excites me because I've lived two lives while I've been here so far. I've lived the life of poverty. I've been there, guys. Now, I won't say it's anything compared to what I've noticed in the Philippines. I've never been, I mean, I feel so blessed that I never had a personal experience what I've witnessed with my own eyes in the Philippines. Okay. And the kind of poverty some of these people have to live through. Okay. So grateful that somehow I didn't have to go that, but yes, did I experience poverty in my own different ways? Should I give an example when I'm talking about my own version of poverty?
Yes.
Okay, how about this one from when I was growing up, okay? We were so poor. We were so poor that we only bought clothing once a year, right before school started. Okay? We were so poor we could only buy clothing once a year, only once a year before school started. And I was growing so fast that just imagine my pants, you know what I'm saying? I took it bigger, bigger, bigger. They knew I was going to be a giant by the time I reached age 4. So, but here I was like about 6 inches from the bottom of the bottom of my jeans or whatever to, where my shoes were, what I'm saying? 'Cause I just growing so fast. And I got tired of people saying, "You're waiting for a flood." How did that make me feel as a child? I was traumatized. I was traumatized by people. You're waiting for a flood for year after year after year. We were so poor. We only bought clothing once a year
Wow.
before school. So they
I,
when I started school, but halfway into school, I was out. I was already outgrowing them, and I had to put up with several months of people making fun of me. Picking on little old Tracy. Picking on me. Making fun of me. Right. So yeah. So that's a form of poverty, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
I mean, but I look back now and I'm grateful. I'm grateful I went through that because now I can relate to poor people. And I can say, I recognize you, and I know it doesn't feel good. From personal experience, I know it doesn't feel good to be poor. And it puts me on a mission to end it. Let's end poverty. I don't think we can wait on anybody. We got to do it ourselves. We got to do it. It's up to us. Okay? Fair enough? We can do it. A great idea like this can do it. All right, we got a hand up. Go ahead, Ken. What's on your mind?
Hi, Ace. Just ran into an issue here. Can I share my screen real quick, Hunter?
Okay.
What kind of issue are we talking about?
The lending site.
Okay. Is it an error message? Because I had an error message come up too. So if it is,
No, it's a little bit more than that.
all right.
I just want to show people what to do if they encounter this.
Oh, you have a solution that you want to present, not a problem. Okay, that's different. We're open to solutions, but you have a solution that you want to share how to get around something that might.
Are you seeing my screen?
It's popping up now.
This is the first time I've encountered this while you were talking about the
Oh,
lending.
okay, interesting. Wow, that's weird.
Now, when you click on details, you go down here and then you can access the site. Okay.
Wow.
But
Okay.
I'm just wondering why that popped up all of a sudden.
It could be the settings on your computer, by the way, So let me take a look. Let me just while you
Just happened to me as well.
it's happened to you. That's on the PML website.
Yeah.
So I'll just hit refresh and see if it happens to me too. It's not happening to me when I refresh.
The
Let
security
me
top.
test on my end. One sec here.
So I have maybe an explanation what might cause that, but who else is seeing it?
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
just
I'm
seen
seeing
it.
that in Google
I'm
Chrome.
seeing it.
Looks like it's Chrome's web protection doing that.
Okay.
Yeah, we've just got it here now too.
All right, so there you go. So guys, if you see this, just click through it. This is the problem with software development is that they're constantly putting things up there, codes are changing all the time, and just when you think you got something working the way you want it, then somebody makes a change in the chain, right? Software chain from one company to the next. We all impacted by the operating system, by our virus protection, by our, the browser that we're using inside of that operating system, and so on and so on and so on. And I don't know, and obviously some ideas like we're doing that we're putting out there in the world, there's the light and the dark, so sometimes darkness will try to shut it down, right? But there's always a way around it, right? So thanks for showing us the way around it, Ken. Just click through, but some of you might have your antivirus software turned on in a certain way that any kind of like what they call Web 3.0 websites will actually get targeted, not just ours, but others as well, as like risky or dangerous or whatever. Okay. All right. Doesn't mean they are. It's just the every company is trying to protect its own little thing, so MetaMask is protecting itself, Chrome is protecting itself, Google is protecting itself. They're all trying to protect themselves from anything that might feel like a little bit outside the box or whatever, outside the norm. And we're definitely outside the box. We're not doing anything wrong, we're just a little bit outside the box. You got your hand up, Paul. What's you got something to say on the subject or different topic?
Yeah, I just found the same thing, but I noticed on there it said it was a Chrome update. So it's a Chrome security update that's causing it.
All right. Well, I'm going to have the programmer, look into that. Maybe that we need to adjust something so that it's more compatible to the update. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. maybe there's some compliance thing out there that we need to comply with, on the software side. But it's ever changing, so don't let it disturb you. Just realize it's just, software development is like that. That's just the nature of it. All right, that was a good thing to bring up. Since you're presenting a solution there, Ken, that was awesome. Appreciate that. I'm going to refresh mine one more time just to see. See, one of the reasons I use a Mac instead of a PC, is I've got less viruses and things like that to deal with because Apple is just a better protector when it comes to viruses and things like that. So nope. Yeah, I don't have a problem. Anybody here with a Mac seeing it? Because I'm not seeing it. Anybody else using a Mac? I'm using a MacBook Pro.
I use a MacBook Pro and I don't see it.
All right. Maybe we can convert them all to Mac users.
I'll just try mine.
Please no.
I use a Mac and I don't see it.
Yeah. See you guys. So those of you that are in the Windows world, welcome to your world.
Mine's not working either.
You got a Windows machine?
My phone.
Oh, you're on your phone. Okay. Anybody else with a phone issue? Who else is accessing using a phone?
Nobody uses a phone. I use my phone all the time.
All right. And then anybody else seeing that or not?
Me. But I just started.
Oh, you just saw it? Okay. So directly after this training, I'm going to reach out to the programmer and say, stop everything you're doing, put your attention 100% on this and see what we can do to, comply with whatever they're looking for. I mean, who the heck knows, but that's really the programmer's job. My job is to inspire you and lift you up. Did I do a good job in that today?
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
that's
you did.
my job.
Yeah,
The programmer's job is to fix stuff. He's our mechanic. He's the one going to tinker with the code and make everything better at some point. It's just going to get better and better. But his job is tough. It's a very hard job what he's got to do because he's not dealing with something that's stationary and that he can just work with something that's solid all the time. And his thing, he's dealing with a very dynamic, ever-changing environment. It's very hard. Imagine that. Imagine the kind of job the programmer's got to deal with. And like the moment you think you're making something, by the time you get finished making it, something got changed along the way, and then you got to go and debug something because it didn't quite fit the future version of what you're building. You know what I'm saying? Because things changed in the process. I would make my head. I mean, see, I got hair still, so that's why I'm not a programmer. If I was a programmer, I'd be really bald by now, probably. I couldn't deal with that. So there you go. All right, guys. That's it. So listen, today you need to know the sellers, we're running out of ammunition. So that's what we're going to wrap up today. We're just going to announce that sellers are running out of ammunition, or we'll just call it ammo. Sellers are running out of ammo. Everybody unmute and say, sellers are running out of ammo.
Sellers are running out of ammo.
Stella's running out of ammo.
Dylan's running out of ammo.
Ammo.